This is Brent of the Brook Bush Institute bringing you an advanced stability exercise for the chest and shoulders using our True Fit suspension trainer. I'm going to have my friend Melissa come out. She's going to help me demonstrate this exercise, which is a weight transfer push-up. It's kind of like mixing a push-up with a unilateral fly that dynamically changes back and forth. It's a fun exercise, very challenging. First things to remember, guys, just because I put a suspension trainer in her hand does not change what form is supposed to look like for a push-up. So I'm going to have Melissa walk out. She's actually, for this exercise, going to descend halfway into that push-up, but before I torture her by keeping her there, let's double check our checkpoints. So her shoulders are down and protracted, right? So she's got that nice stable position for a push-up. Her head's back and chin tucked. She's drawn in. If she had an anterior pelvic tilt, I could tell her to tuck under and squeeze her glutes, right, to get her pelvis nice and stable. Her quads are nice and tight. And since this is a push-up, she's actually going to get up on the balls of her feet so that she has a nice pivot point as she goes through this movement pattern. As we go further and further into this increasing load, you'd have to be up on your toes. She's then going to descend halfway into her push-up so her elbows are even with her torso. Now this is where the fun begins. She's going to try to reach out with this arm into a full fly, and what you guys will notice is that all of a sudden now she's totally off balance. She has to use her trunk to help with rotation, to help her keep from rotating. She has to use this side of her chest with a much longer lever arm, much more than the other side. Good, and then she's going to go for the other side. Again, anti-rotation, much more chest-shoulder stability on this side. She can keep going back and forth here. I would definitely keep this in my stability endurance training program design, so 12 to 20 rep sets. Good, and since we're going to take Melissa through a couple different progressions here, we're going to have her stop. Good, relax. Good, shake it off a little bit. Taking this up a notch, we can make this require more coordination by having her go from one side out, like this, which is more of like an alternating pattern, to a reciprocal pattern where she's going from this position to this position without changing anything here. No rotation, this stays totally stable. Like if I put a martini on your back, we know how stupid martini glasses are and how easily they spill. If we put a martini glass on your back, it wouldn't move. You ready? Hit it. So she goes into that same position, elbows even with her torso. And then as this arm comes back, that arm goes out. And again, we can do those 12 to 20 repetitions. Super tough at a slow tempo. Good, she's definitely having to work hard. I don't know if you guys can see her shaking on camera, but I do. All right, so you got the weight transfer push-up alternating arms. This is a little bit more of a reciprocal pattern with the arms. We're going to go ahead and have Melissa relax again. Let's take this up one more notch. You think you got one leg?
We'll find out.
All right, so we're decreasing her base of support by more than 50% by putting her on one foot. This is we're going to require some hip stability, a lot of core stability, and of course a ton of stability from her shoulder girdle. From here we can go into that reciprocal pattern, maybe. Almost. That might be a little bit reaching for Melissa, but she's doing an all right job. Make sure you guys do both legs, right? So if you did your right leg, you want to make sure you do your left leg either the next set for a full set or that halfway through your set, you're switching legs so that you are getting as much of a benefit on your right hip and that control of rotation as you are on your left hip. You could increase load on this. All right, so how do we increase load on a suspension trainer? We get her closer and closer to horizontal. So I could make these straps longer, or I could have her bring her feet back. But I'm going to go ahead and warn on this particular exercise that probably shouldn't be your first goal. Like I said, this is definitely one of those exercises I would keep in my stability endurance training, that fairly high rep stability training that we do. because as the weight increases, this becomes a very long lever arm for the shoulder. And I have had the unfortunate experience of having to treat individuals who have been hurt by flies. If you can't do 12 reps, you need to think about walking your feet forward, not walking your feet back to see if you can go into some horizontal version of the iron cross. I'm not sure that that's the goal of this exercise. Be careful, guys. There's other exercises we can use to build strength. So once again, going through our progressions, you ready to just go through all of them? We'll just do a couple reps in each. She's going to go halfway through, notice both feet on the floor, notice her kinetic chain checkpoints are in line, and she's just going to reach one arm at a time, a little slower than that. From there, she can go reciprocal. All right, so from here to here and back. She can bring both arms back together now. Let's go one leg. She can try alternating one leg, squeeze this glute really hard. There you go. Ooh, she almost lost it. And then we could go reciprocal from there. If you guys did want to bring something like this into your strength training, you could try those strength stability supersets that are phase 2 of the NASM OPT model. And maybe we could do bench before this and then use this exercise to burn somebody out. I hope you guys enjoy this exercise a lot. Very, very challenging. I look forward to hearing from you guys about what you think of this exercise, how it made you feel, maybe how sore your chest and shoulders were the next day. Let me know in the comment section of this video. Thank you.